Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is LouAnn and welcome to my kitchen. That coffees are brewing. And you know there's some sweet iced tea in that icebox, and I could get that tea kettle out and we can have a cup of hot tea, especially on this cold winter day. Anyway, this is another canning video, and it is part of two collaborations. March Into Canning, hosted by the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, and March Canning Madness, hosted by Blackberry Rock Homestead. Well, I'm going to kind of do things a little bit different than the recipe, which, I've done this before. So I'm going to make some pepper jelly. There is a recipe in this cookbook, but it has it in pints. And I know, looking in my Blue Ball book of preserving, that it could be put in half pints, and I prefer my jelly in half pints, especially if it's jalapeno jelly. It's going to be pretty much pepper jelly. I'm going to kind of mix sweet peppers and jalapenos together, kind of take out the heat a little bit. But I'm going to use powdered pectin because that is what I have on hand. And I'm not going to use apple juice because I don't have apple juice on hand and I can't get to the store today. And this is a safe canning method because I've done it before. So let's turn the camera out. Let's get to canning some jelly. So I had some frozen peppers, jalapeno peppers, in my freezer. I've thawed them out. I've added a cup of vinegar, apple cider vinegar, to this. I'm going to add a couple of fresh sweet peppers, cleaned and cut up. Well, of course, de-seeded. And then we're going to puree this, and then I'll be right back. So in a saucepan, we're going to add a cup of apple cider vinegar. We're going to add 6 cups of sugar. That is 4 cups. I still need to add 2 more cups. Plus all our jalapenos that we chopped up. And if you don't have any jalapenos, you can use sweet peppers to make a sweet pepper jelly, just so you know. Now we need to bring this mixture, put the heat on, and bring this mixture to a rapid boil before we put our pectin in here. I'm going to get this stirred up real quick, and then once it gets to rapid boil, I'll be right back. Now that we're boiling, we need to boil it for 20 minutes while stirring constantly before we put in our pectin. So I got to stir this constantly, and then I do have my water bath canner. It has water in it, and it's underneath heat. So now we just gotta boil this for 10 minutes while stirring constantly. And like I said, you can sweet green pepper jelly as well. I've canned a lot of different unique varieties of jelly. I mean, there's root beer jelly, there's Dr. Pepper jelly. You can make, I've heard coffee jelly. I've never done coffee jelly. I may do that this time. I have to find my recipe. I know there is coffee jelly. I don't know exactly what goes in it. There is a pineapple habanero jelly. I usually use pineapple in it. That's more of a salsa, at least to me. There's all different types of jellies. I never have canned dandelion jelly. You can take the flowers and make dandelion jelly. You could do peony jelly, the pretty beautiful flowers. You could do that. There's all different kinds of different varieties of jellies out there. So, and yes, the seeds are in the jalapenos because I did not de-seed some of them. And there are some big chunks of jalapeno in there and big chunks of peppers. And this does have a smell of a little heat. So this could be a great deal for your heat spicy food type friends to make this and give it to them. See if they like it. This is supposed to make 5 half pints, at least the Blue Ball book recipe in there. The recipe for that's in the other book, it called for 4 pints. So we'll just have to wait and see how many half pints this makes. Now that it's been 10 minutes, which my timer will go off in a few seconds. Let it go off real fast. Now we want to stir in some pectin. If you're using the liquid pectin, it will be 2 pouches. And if you are using the dry pectin as me, I'm using 2. Which basically, if you buy it in bulk, it'll be 6. Make sure it is stirred all in. Whoo, that has some heat to it, y'all. I can smell it. So now we just need to bring it back to a boil. Make sure all the pectin is stirred in and all dissolved into our jelly mixture. And then we will be bringing it back to a rolling boil and boil hard for 1 minute before stirring constantly before we put it in our jars. If you want to skim off the foam that it's creating, feel free to do that, but you really don't have to do that. Trust me on this one. So I've already wiped the rims with vinegar, put the flats on, put the rings on, and I did put a splash of vinegar in my water because we have hard water where I'm at. If you are somewhere that has hard water, that is my recommendation. You don't have to do that, but if you don't, there will be like a hard water skim on your jars, and you want your jars to look pretty, right? And if you wanted to put green food dye in this, you could, or food coloring. I did not, so now we just gotta wait for it to boil, and then boil for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So we gotta get this to boiling, and then we will let it hard boil for 10 minutes, and then pretty much that will be done. Let it rest for 5 minutes, and then we can pull our jars out. And this can go on our pantry shelves, but we gotta not move our jars for 24 hours, and then there you go.